I mean, we gotta do things how we're gonna do things.
Alright, not to make this totally awkward, but are you gonna still talk to me while I wash my face?
Hey guys, and welcome back to Little Black Book. You already know what time it is. We are giving you guys a review on Married at First Sight, episode 3. And we're going to be talking about Zach and Mindy, Austin and Jess. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, share, subscribe, click on the bell button for the notifications of the uploads, baby. And for those of you who are Mineral Gang, you've already got your attire. You're part of the Mineral Gang. If you haven't got it, click down below. Listen, you ain't got the minerals, baby. Listen, every day we're doing new, baby. Listen, if you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, get out. If you can't handle the heat in the kitchen, chill later. Get out, baby, okay? You're mad, lean, gay. Alright, cool. So, listen, we're talking to you about Zach and Mindy. Now, for me, from the very jump of this relationship, I just didn't like the dynamics because I thought this guy is just, I won't say cold, but this guy is, you know, wants to love somebody, but there's still a lot of self involved. A lot of self. He's doing it for self. Like, if he wants to serve you, it's almost like self. It feels like he's doing it for self. You know what I'm saying? I'm not calling him a narcissist or anything like that, but I'm just kind of saying it felt like that. So we fast forward to episode 3, right? And you know, we see them in the bedroom where they are, you know, folding and packing to go to Panama, right? And one of the first things that I picked up on was Mindy's behavior. Okay.
You use a neck pillow?
No, I didn't.
Too dorky?
Yeah, that's
Really?
too dorky. It just.
Well, I do.
Oh, I mean, I will like on a super long flight. But
You don't have to make me feel good about myself. It's fine.
I'm just gonna get you a neck pillow and make you wear it, like not even just on the plane, but like throughout the airport.
When you travel with someone, it definitely changes things as far as like how we interact. Do you like get to the airport early? Do you like get there late?
Necessity to bend, yeah, for the to bend for him. And for me, it can be a good thing, but because I know there's an imbalance in terms of looks, right? And I feel like she's falling for this guy quicker because she's felt like she feels like she's got an amazing guy. The guy is super good looking. Let's just be freaking real, okay? In comparison with her. No offense to her, it's just saying there's a physical difference in terms of attribute-wise, right? And the guy even models, man. Do you know what I mean? He's a fitness and everything like that. His hair is amazing. Do you know what I mean? Like, this is like your kind of Ken the Barbie doll. Do you know what I mean? Alright, so in that particular sense, there was a situation what happened where he asked her about, I think the sleeping neck things or whatever, right? And he said, how do you feel about that? And then she went, you know, she kind of cussed it like, I'm not really a big fan of it, da-da-da-da-da-da. And then he was like, oh, you know, because I kind of use it, like, and then she changed her tone instantly and said, oh, you know, I don't mind it that much, but, you know, da-da-da. And then, you know, and he was like, no, you don't have to make me feel better, do you know what I mean, blah, blah, blah. But that was my first instance of, again, bending to the will of, you know, Zach. And he didn't ask for that, he didn't call for it, he didn't manipulate to get to that situation. She just did that because she really likes him. Now the problem with that is that yielding can become consistent and a regular behavior, and that is what we call moving the territorial barriers of your boundaries. And what can happen is, as you're moving your boundaries back, he's moving forward and encroaching more on who you are. And what happens is you lose yourself, and then you become this robot, and then you become the slave in the relationship, and whatever's happening you become a passenger in. And then that's how you get into relationships where you're abused. That's how you get into relationships where your rights are no longer taken up. It's where you lose your voice. It's where you lose your individualism. This is where you lose you know, your dreams and goals, because you are giving it up from early because you feel the person so good looking that you're willing to give that up. Now I know it's very early and probably someone might say, oh, but that's a small thing, but these roofs don't cave in overnight. You know what I'm saying? When you change your, like, she should just gone 100 and said, look, oh, she's like, do you know what, she should have held it down and be like, do you know what, yeah, I'm not gonna lie to you, I'm not the biggest fan of it, but if you like it, it's cool, innit? I'm not saying that you can't wear it, but as for me, yeah, I'm not a big fan of it at all. But she already insulted it and then tried to come back on it. Do you know what I mean? And he's clocked that. And what you have to understand is, it's always a power. I told you this. There are constant power struggles in relationships for most of us, because most of us have lost power somewhere in our life, somewhere, or we've had power and we're not used to giving up that power somewhere. Now, there are a few couples who don't ever go through this because they're just a perfect match, but not a lot of us are in that situation. You understand? So let's just keep it real. So that was my first instance. I was like, oh, Chile.
Ready and get out of this.
Do you need any help with anything?
No, so thank you for asking.
Sure.
Yeah, no, of course.
And then obviously next kind of point that I picked up was, I believe his love language is acts of service and potentially quality time. But he said something about, I think he had some work to do, whatever. And then she said, "Oh, do you need some help with that?" Right? And he said, "No, no, thank you, but really, really appreciate the fact that you wanted to offer that." And I believe because obviously the industry he's in a service industry where he consistently services people. He's probably looking, that's the love language, potentially he's looking for someone to also offer that kind of service to him as well. So when he said that, he really was, he almost like really was appreciative of the fact that she offered to actually help, to help him along with what he had planned. And again, when it comes to relationships, understanding love languages is so key. If you don't know love languages, listen, go and find a book, Gary Chapman, Love Languages, 5 of them, yeah? Quality time, acts of service, gifts, physical touch, and I can't remember what was the 5th one, words of affirmation. Do you get me? So with him, I saw that obviously he wanted that acts of service, and that's very key and very important, because that will be the way that she gets to his heart, because that's the way he's also serving as well. He wants to, and he said it, in episode 2, where he wants to serve his wife. He wants to make sure his wife got goals, make sure she's got ambition, make sure she gets to where she gets to. He wants to make sure he's serving her. So that's also a way he wants to receive love as well. So I really appreciate that. I saw that and I was like, okay, cool. One thing I was want to say, Mindy went to the parents' house, and what was interesting about the parents' house for Mindy, watching that from Mindy's point of view, was the fact she stated about, this guy's perfect, and I'm just waiting for the imperfection to kick in.
Do this with me today because I want to know everything.
Oh, we have a lot to tell you.
Okay, good, because I'm a little like, are you perfect or something? Like, I'm hoping he shows me some imperfections.
He wakes up at 3.
And I think all of us go through this period of time where beginning of the relationship, someone could be absolutely perfect, right? And you just wait, because you've been in the world and you know what the world is like, you're just waiting for the moment it all comes falling down. And when it all comes down, when it all comes down. That note was slightly off at the beginning when I started that. Anyway, but listen, so it's mad, because you are waiting for that moment where you wake up and like, okay, real life now, like, yeah, you're a bastard, and now let's work this out. And we all need that checking point, because nobody is perfect. Do you understand? But what I think drew me into when she said that was the fact that she said obviously he's perfect, and that she's almost like wondering where the imperfection is, etc. And it's like at the moment she's in a daze. She can't see the imperfection. He's perfect, good looking, attractive, she says, all of this kind of stuff. And it's like, when you're almost naive to a situation, that's how I feel like she's almost in at this moment, because he's so good looking. And I think I've said this to someone before, and it's like, people don't understand, when you get in a relationship with somebody who's really good looking, like compared to you, there are natural tendencies for us to gravitate toward them and give them extra lineage, what we call the halo effect almost, right? Where we add attributes to the person because they're good looking, they're more intellectual, they're more funny, they're more, they're just a better candidate, etc. When really you haven't seen any of those attributes actually. But the fact is, just because they're good looking, you've added that, you've bumped up their stats. Do you know what I'm saying? And it's like, that's what I'm seeing with Mindy and something. She bumped up all his stats, and he hasn't showed nothing just yet. He's just a good looking bloke. You know what I mean? A really good looking bloke. But she got some reality checks from the friends and the family when they mentioned about his unemotional self. And I mentioned this in the overall one that we shot earlier on, where I said about he doesn't always give you the satisfaction of the emotional response at the time. It sounds so beautiful when they say it, but actually it's crazy. And it drives people crazy, because to have a logical response to certain things which require an emotional response is so inhumane and cold, and you come off callous.
Look up to me.
He does not respond to situations with emotion. And so I think he may not give you the instant.
I gave the example where I said, listen, someone dies in your family, and someone comes to you and says, well, you know, all of us die, you know, I know you'll get over it over time, and yeah, you'll be okay. Like, listen to that. It just sounds so inhumane. Someone has died and I can't respond in an emotional, empathetic way. Then deep it. Like, now I've become inhumane to the individual, because I'm not able to add my emotion to the situation. I know it's an extreme situation. Billy, calm down. I know it's an extreme situation to kind of give, but I'm just giving an example of how this can play out. You know what I'm saying? Like, she could literally in the next few days go, you know what, I was really hurt by the fact that, you know what, you didn't support me in this particular venture. And he'd be like, well, you know, it wasn't going to work anyway, the business, and you know what, I saw right through it from the beginning. What do you want to do? Come on. You see, so that non-emotional response sounds good, but actually it's a self-defense mechanism so that he doesn't have to feel at that time. Maybe because he might not have control of his emotions in general. Maybe because if he goes into emotions, he feels like he's vulnerable and doesn't want to be vulnerable. It's about keeping, you know, the staunchness, the stoicism, as I think the friend mentioned about being stoic to everything. But being stoic to everything shows that you don't care. Like, stoicism is all about the fact is, it's like whatever life throws at me, I don't care, bruv. It is what it is. And it's not is what it is. Life is not is what it is. Life has twists and turns where we have to be empathetic. So that is a big problem in itself. And Mindy says, oh, I'm more of the emotional person myself. Look, the compliment is not going to work. Yeah, the more emotional and the less emotional, not going to work. Because we are emotional beings in some shape or form. And guess what? It will backfire on her in one shape or form one time. It will be later on down the line that he's emotional about a situation and she decides to copy his behavior by being less emotional, and he gets vexed about it. Why? Because actually he's not stoic. Actually, he's not non-emotional. He just picks and chooses when he wants to be emotional. That's the honest truth. Because we want to choose those moments because we want to make sure we're in control of ourselves. And we feel like we're losing control when we become too emotional. Do you know what I'm saying? So we're going to see some interesting things between the two of them. Trust me. Then there was a mention of, she said, obviously, what can I do to make him feel more comfortable? And I think they mentioned about there being this necessity of, he wants those deeper kind of chats, those deeper kind of conversations where they can really get to know each other. And I guess he wants to love the mind and love the individual on a deeper basis as well.
To make him feel comfortable.
He's looking for that deeper connection. Somebody who's not just going to challenge him in the gym, but somebody who's going to challenge him mentally.
Which is cool. I think that's really cool. I think that's important. And that let me believe again that he's a quality time, a love language as well, because he wants to see that happening. And that means that he's a deep thinker, and he has, he wants to have interesting intellectual conversations where, he's challenged in the mind, which is fine. That's brilliant, and that will allow for her to also lend herself. And hopefully, he'll allow her to be emotional in that conversation of intellectualism and certain nuances that they're going to speak about, because that's also part of it. It's also a very big part of it. When Zach meets the family, it's very, very interesting. I asked myself a question, which was, why is his hair always perfect? Why is his hair always perfect? What for him? What is it that it allows him to feel like when the hair is perfect? Because if you're getting up in the morning to make sure your hair's perfect, there is a reason why. Something about that hair is saying something beyond just the hair. We do things for a reason, subconsciously sometimes. Most times even, if not all times. So I wanted to find out what the reason is behind that, this state of perfection. And I'm wondering if something to his childhood in terms of, needing to look like you're perfect, even though he's not perfect. And that is a big issue, because when you feel like you have to be perfect and you're not perfect, that's dangerous, man. Because the other that you do things to cover up to make sure you look perfect all the time. You get me? And actually sometimes it's an indication of the person not being genuine and real, because nobody's perfect. So when you exude perfection, there's a tendency to ask the question, what are you hiding? You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's perfect. When he met the sister and the friend, it was interesting because two of them are on different wavelengths. The sister and the friend. The sister is buying into him straight away. She wants her sister to be happy. She seems like the guy's like a nice guy. She's buying into it. She's not trying to be too skeptical. Like, she's cool. But the friend,
I think Zach's really open, and I think he knows exactly what to say. And I can't tell if it's genuine or not yet because I don't know him that well. I hope that he can show us rather than tell us what kind of person he is.
friend is like, listen, I'm here to back my friend and make sure, and I don't like something about you. Your energy's off for me. You know, so she's asking some real staunch, deep questions to him, penetrating just beyond, oh, you know, like, da-da-da-da-da. I think some of the questions she asked, she asked a question about your model and your modeling as well. How will you make, you know, Mindy feel treasured and loved and you know, spoken for? Do you know what I mean? And, you know, he said obviously he always makes people feel like that way. He makes them feel loved, etc., etc. But I felt it was just a great question again because what she was hitting was making sure that, listen, I'm going beyond what you're doing right now. You've got a model. You're a model. You know, we know the circles you run in, and we know that there are going to be other females around you that are of a certain level. What plans have you put in place to make sure that your eyes are not feasting or festering over these other women? Do you know what I mean? How are we going to make sure that Mindy feels, you know, not feeling overwhelmed by, you know, the amount of time and energy you spend into these women and making them feel sweet, and maybe potentially ignoring Mindy because, like I said, physical attractiveness is a real problem, fam. Trust me.
You go in your career. I know your fitness training and it looks like modeling and things like that. So I guess it seems like this for you could be a win-win situation. Like you could get a little more exposure for your career.
Is this an opportunity for you to get spotted? You know, good question. Obviously, we don't expect him to say yes, it is. But, you know, good question to kind of see what his response will be like, you know, and maybe to check how he's responding. And, you know, he obviously said, no, it's not the case, you know. But, you know, it made me think, like, is he on here just for a modeling career? You know, is he on here because he wants to be exposed? People do a lot of things for TV. You'd be surprised. People do a lot of things for TV, you know. And so, you know, that social experiment is real. You know, it's a real thing. It's interesting that obviously the friend thought, you know, that Zach you know, her friend Mindy would fall head over heels for Zach. And I think that is really interesting because of the fact that we know the reason why she's saying that, because there is a gap between them physically. It's not, you know what I mean? Like, you know that he's so good looking, you have to be careful. If Mindy falls, you know, that's her life. She done up. She done out here. Do you know what I mean? So I understand the caution of the friend. And I think she's just trying to weigh it up and make sure that this guy is who he says he is. And that's good to be like that. You need skeptical people as well like that to weigh up real options, because you don't want your friend to be hurt. You wouldn't want a family member to be hurt by someone. So, you know, I know that he is all that in a bag of chips physically, but she asked some really good questions going into that.
No, I mean, we gotta do things how we're gonna do things.
Alright, not to make this totally awkward, but are you gonna still talk to me while I wash my face?
The situation that I picked up on was when they were in a hotel and she wanted to talk about, you know, other couples in comparison, and there was a situation where he was washing his face and he said, can we talk about this after I wash my face? And I guess the way he said it so abruptly, it just made Mindy like, whoa. Like, do you know what I mean? Whoa. She had to like, whoa. Because it was, whoa. She has to literally figure out what she want to do. And I think, I understand, because look, clear communication is always good anyway. Sometimes it is painful by saying, you know what, look, I can't talk and wash my face at the same time. I mean, he could have, but he didn't want to. And that's fine. You know, that's your boundary. And you're allowed to express your boundaries because they are very important. Say it now rather than saying it in 6 weeks time where you're like, I don't want to talk when you're, you know what I mean? It's going to be painful then. So he set that boundary. It's just the way he delivered it. It just sounded so rude. You know, yeah, it was just the delivery. Sometimes delivery is more important. Like, it's not what you say, it's how you say it, you know. But then obviously, you know, she was talking about other couples and comparison, and I always say that comparison is a thief of joy.
But I see, you know, most of these husbands like treating their wives really well and like taking care of them in a way, different ways, whether it be a sign of physical affection or helping them with their suitcase or whatever the case may be. And he's treating me like a friend.
You know, but I understand, I mean, the point she was making, which is, you know, at the moment we feel like we're being friends. But his point is also as well, you know, we have to build a foundation of friendship. But my thing is this, you were lipsing her in the bedroom after the wedding. So that friendship vibe talk that you're on about doesn't make sense. I'm not saying that you can't be friends. I'm saying you can't treat me like a friend when you've already started lipsing me. So you're now regressing, which is a problem.
Well, look at that. My husband is so sexy. Are you kidding me? That guy is like...
Do you get it? So we are building our relationship. Don't get it twisted. We are building that friendship, but that desire should feel desired. If you really start lipsing me, you can't be telling me now I'm trying to love you like a friend. I'm trying to love you like a gangster. You know what I mean? Like, you can't tell me you're trying to love me like a friend, like it's Mario. No. You have already lipsed me. We've gone past the friendship line. So yes, let's build a friendship, but in the terms of desire for one another. Almost as if, like, if you doesn't build that friendship, Barry, a friendship line with her, you know, it's almost as if like, oh, you know, this won't last long. But the truth is, like I said, you've gone past that line. You've kissed, you've lipsed, you put on her bed, like, fam, look like you're about to take her out that night. Like, do you know what I mean? So the friendship vibe's got to end. You got to desire me, you know what I mean? And that's the reason why a lot of people cheat, as Esther Perel put it. You know, a lot of people cheat because of desire. They want to feel what? Desired. That's the whole point, you know? And so, you know, it's a mad thing, but it is real. Do you know what I mean? And then obviously, I guess, you know, the next episode we're going to see where he talks, I think it was the next episode, where she came out and said about, no, it's this episode where she said, you know, they had a conversation after she left the bedroom, and, you know, he said he doesn't find her attractive. What does she want? What does she want? What did she want him to do, or what did he want her to do? Oh, something like that. I can't remember.
Told me I'm not building any kind of attraction to you, and what do you want me to do about that? And I tell him, well, I guess this isn't gonna...
the wicks around. But, you know, that's crazy, you know, and well, we called it, we knew it, like, we knew that he wasn't attracted to her like that. So, but again, he's about building a relationship, he's about building up from the mindset rather than just the physical attraction. So I do get that he wants a best friend, I guess, in that sense, to do so. So I mean, I get it, I understand it, I'm deep in it, and I'm just trying to unravel it a bit more. It's just tough to I guess to hear those words that you're not attracted to somebody. That must really hurt. I don't want to ever hear those words. Do you know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's a crazy thing. Yeah, let us know down below what's your thoughts. How do you feel about the couples at the moment between Austin, Jess, and Zach and Mindy? How do you feel about them? And let us know your thoughts down below. Hey, don't forget to join the Mineral Gang, baby. Don't forget to join the Mineral Gang. You understand? Comment down below. Like, share, subscribe, and share with somebody. You understand? You ain't got the minerals, baby. Appreciate you.